I've spent the last 2 days at Beamish Open Air Museum with my wife Deb. They've had a steam weekend on. I'd like to say a massive thanks for all the lads with the steam engines that pulled up with me doing video and took us for a ride round. It was also great to meet 1 or 2 new viewers I've never met before. Anyway, thanks very much. I started to do a little bit of work on the valve rod gland. That's that thing there, nice bronze gland that fits on there. And as packing material goes in and it seals the valve rod which comes down there from the steam. Then I got my eye on this stud hole here, and I thought all the stud holes were good on this engine block, but they're not. There's one there. I'll bring the camera in a bit closer and you can see what's happened to it. This is 3/8 Whitworth, and there's a little bit of on there which is, it's like part of a thread that's been set in, so it's been bushed, drilled off centre, and it's another proper mess. And that's not the worst of it. These studs here are good, they're at 90 degrees to the face, but if I screw that in there, it's lying backwards, it's pissed, it's nowhere near the right angle. I'll move the camera across so you can see a little bit better. Right, so that stud should be 90 degrees from there. If I put that block in, you can see it's nowhere near. It's been drilled kind of straight in. It needs to be drilled in an angle like that. I can't get this in the milling machine easy, so what I've done is I've fastened it to the bench with a couple of big wood screws and a block of wood, and I've made a little jig to help us try and drill this out nice and straight. At the minute it's 3/8 Whitworth, I haven't got a helicoil kit 3/8 Whitworth, so all I want to do is drill it out, and I'm going to tap it 7/16 BSF and then make a stepped stud. If it doesn't clean up at 7/16, I'll go up to 1/2 inch. It's quite annoying because I've actually started to paint this. It's been sort of assembled, was ready to go on top of the engine. That was going to be tonight's job, but I'm pleased I saw that before I got much further. I've got a block of scrap steel here and I've drilled 2 holes in. The first one is a clearance hole for the tapping drill for 7/16 BSF, and the second one is a clearance hole for the tap, so I can get the tap wound in nice and square. So all I've got to do is line that up on there using the drill as best I can, clamp that, then I'll be able to drill that freehand, move it across and hopefully get the tap in. Right, so the point on the drill is going to line that up in that hole quite nicely. You put a clamp on here now. This is where you need 3 hands. Debsy's not so keen at coming into the workshop now to help us really, because every time she comes in she seems to get injured. Right, so all that's going to do is keep the drill nice and straight. Looking down the hole, it looks really good indeed. Right, I can get in. That clamp's going to give us just enough room to get in. Just gently. Right, so that's a tapping drill. We'll take it out and see if we've got a clean hole. Not really. I can still see there's a little sliver in there. There's still a little sliver there there it is. It's not far away actually. That's a taken out, and that is clean metal in there. That was just that one little bit in the top of the thread. I think I'll try a tap in and see if it cleans it up. Right, the tap goes in, that lines up in the hole. All this is just a guide just to keep the tap straight. Can't go anywhere else but straight because it's following the hole in that steel guide was made for it. Right. I've got quite a few of these little blocks of steel that I use for various repairs on car threads. That's not perfect, but it's a lot better than it was. That'll hold the stud, no problem at all, and the stud will be going to be Loctited in there. I'm quite happy with that up to now anyway. Next I need to make the stud, which is 3/8 Whitworth with a 7/16 BSF step on it. I've got a bit of second-hand material here. There's some studs that are modified. It really is good material, nice to work with. It's not really a critical job, so it's perfectly acceptable to use the material up. It's cool, so you just give it a few minutes to warm itself up. Something must have moved there, it's a mile above centre height. Pretty good. The first diameter will be 7/16, so it's going to be the size for the shoulder, the step bit that goes into the actual cylinder block. Right, so that there was 7/16. I need threads on that end, but also need some 3/8 Whitworth on there, so I'll turn that down to 3/8 for the right length. Right, so one 3/8 fit down to there, and then 7/16 BSF on that bit. These are real good quality die nuts that cut a thread on this material, no problem at all. Right, so that's our bastardised stud, which is 7/16 UNF, 7/16 BS7 3/8 Whitworth. Part it off now to the right length and then go about screwing into the job. Right, we can get away with 12mm from the shoulder, which was there. Right, that's the new stud that screws into there. It hasn't got a shoulder to tighten it up on because of the way I've machined it. So I want that to stop about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some damage on the threads. I put a couple of pop marks across 2 or 3 threads. It'll screw in and it'll go stiff on them. And when it's got Loctite in, that's not going to give any problems at all. You can see that, I don't know if it focuses, but I've put a couple of flats on the threads. And that will stop it from unscrewing. But the Loctite will make sure it can't come out. I know they didn't use Loctite when they built these engines, but if they had it, they would have. Right, so that's quite stiff on the threads there, and that's all it's going to take. Quite happy with that. We'll try the end cover on now. It should be yeah, that's fine. All these ones here are nuts and bolts. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4 studs, and that's not going to give any problems at all. I probably ended up putting washers on these, but they didn't use washers originally, but I don't know why. Just make sure it will tighten up. But it seemed to have a very good hold. Yeah, it is. Nothing the matter with that. Right, so one more repair done. And I don't think it'll be the last one. I'll wash all this crap out of here now. I decided to paint that upright support black. It was too badly pitted to polish. So now we can kind of lift the cylinder on. All the mating faces are nice and clean. It's quite a heavy lump, this. Under there. There's 2 really tight fitting dowel bolts go into there, proper shouldered bolts, which keep everything nicely lined up. And those bolts are pushed through. It's got no play because I like a dowel bolt, a proper fitted bolt. That port there, that's where the exhaust steam goes out. There's a little drain valve goes in there to drain any water out of the cylinder, any condensation. I may do the lagging a different colour, I don't know. Possibly do the lagging in the cylinder cover black to match that bit. I don't want to make it look all tarted up like a fairground organ, but I want it to look sort of reasonable. And some people, when they do this, they fill the blemishes and the cast and they fill with filler and sand them and things. I like to see them sort of looking better, probably like they're supposed to look, I suppose, with the way they were originally put together. They certainly weren't all polished and pretty, but they did have a lot of pride in what they did. That looks alright. I put all that coat on there in the morning before I go to work. The next job is all this motion gear's got to go on. There's a steady bar goes down there. Obviously there's a big end journal to go onto there. That has to be cleaned up and polished up. But I'm looking not too bad. I'm quite happy with the way it's gone. I've done quite a few biggish repairs. It should be a nice engine when it's done. I'll try and get it to a couple of steam rallies and get it plumbed into a steam boiler and get some decent steam on it and see what it runs like. Well, I'm sure it'll be fine. It was running before I stripped it, but I had it run on compressed air, and it's bound to run a lot better now after all the repairs and the setting up we've done. That's a stud that we put in earlier. Massive steam ports in it, really big. I'm not quite sure what to do with this. I'll make this mill that off flat. I think it's had a governor or something mounted on here. I'm not quite sure. But I really don't want to. I could build it up with weld, but I don't want to go anywhere near weld, and I don't want to crack the casting. Well, it's starting to look quite reasonable. Once again, it's just time to say thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. It does make a massive difference. Anyway, thanks for watching.